Hello and welcome to episode 174 of No Load Time. My name is Obed Velez and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, it's a pleasure to be with you, my friend.
Good to be here, sir. I see that you're getting paid with all your gear.
I know, right? I mean, this is. I mean, then again, this is also showing some diversification. I feel like I always have I
Okay.
got a lot of Marvel stuff up here, so
Yeah, there's a
nice to
there's
have
a
a little DC
BVS.
to be
Yeah,
sure.
there's BVS back there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know you're good. You're
yeah, yeah.
good.
We're recording, guys. Just
We're
so you know,
live.
we're live. We're recording. We're talking over here about all the checks that we're cashing.
Yeah, right. I wish. Hey,
I know.
what's up, man? How are you?
I'm tired. I will start off with saying
I
that, but
don't
I'm not
feel
too tired.
tired.
I'm not too tired to talk about a very special show, movie rather. It's a movie, um, but we'll be getting to that in a little bit.
At
But
least the first half of it. This is a
I
marathon.
know,
Yeah.
I know, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, man, I'm doing pretty good. Didn't have anything crazy go on. Your what's up's gonna be a lot cooler than mine. But I got to jump in and play a little more Battlefront 2, dude. I'm still going back to it.
Cool. I
It's a
haven't played in a while.
fun, it's a fun one just to jump and do some quick matches online. I still struggle with, I don't know about you, but like I still struggle with the with all the aerial like warfare stuff, like in the ships. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, I never got really into it, man. I
Like they
was
fixed it, but it's not great.
yeah, I mean I'm most more of a blast kind of guy, team deathmatch. That was my thing.
Okay.
That's most of everything that I played was either that or Conquest or Galactic Conquest. But I never got into like the space battles because I found the controls to be just weird. And I just got into
Yeah.
a ship and got blown up the second I spawned, and it just wasn't for me. So it didn't click. It never really clicked with me.
And especially that people have been playing it now for it's been out for so long. People are great at it, and I seem like a noob when I come in. So here I am. Hey, go destroy this, bridge or whatever it is, and I'm heading straight to the bridge, and somebody's right behind you, just waiting to light you up,
Yeah,
because they're waiting for
you gotta
device
know
to
the
come that
maps.
way.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta know the
it's
maps,
tough.
especially like I really like that Naboo Galactic
Mm.
Conquest map is probably my favorite. I really despised like Kashyyyk. I didn't like it. Um, there was another one. I didn't like Kashyyyk. There was one that usually comes up too with that and Naboo. Oh, man, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, those like the Naboo one I really liked. And then on Blast, I think the my least favorite was probably Geonosis. I never liked that map. I just not that I couldn't get around it, right? Because I can get around it, but I just couldn't find like like a good rhythm to that map for some reason. It was weird. Yeah,
No, I hear you. I mean, it's the maps make a difference.
yeah.
You know what I've been thinking though is like I want to go back and play now Jedi Fallen Order, like run through it again, put on the PS5
Oh,
upgraded
with the new
because the
set with the
60
new
frames
settings.
probably will make a
Yeah.
nice difference.
Oh yeah, because that game was choppy. The on
Yeah,
PS4 and regular PS4. Yeah. It's that game's probably worth a revisit.
yeah.
I
I
may.
still had a great time,
Yeah,
but I feel like it would improve my overall
I
experience.
think so. Yeah, I may give it a try and see
Yeah.
what's that all about. Yeah, man, cool. Anything else? That's it,
No, that's all I got, dude. I mean,
bro.
obviously
Slow
it ties
weekend.
right in. Yeah, slow weekend, man. Slow weekend.
Yeah. I took some days off of work this week. Just so I can spend time with my family. And we ended up going to Universal Studios yesterday. Hadn't been to Universal Studios since like 2009, probably. So
Gotcha.
it's been a minute, and it was good. So the park basically closed at capacity at like 12:30 yesterday. I think the most we waited for a ride was about an hour.
Okay.
So it was good. I think they're really okay. So I'm gonna compare it to Disney because I went to Disney back in November to Hollywood Studios. So I'm gonna compare my experience with
Mm.
both parks, being that they're both actually comparable, like direct competitors, right?
It's true.
So and meaning more than Universal versus Disney, being that they're both the studio park.
Right.
So Disney has the queue stuff and the ride flow done like down to a T. Like you, there's not, they are managing that portion of it like really really well. I think that Universal is going the extra mile and keeping you safe because before you get into the actual like whether it be like the direct ride itself or it's say an enclosed room and then you go to the ride, they dispense you have to take hand sanitizer.
Wow.
They make you say so. They do go the extra mile, which Disney do not. When
Even
it
your
comes to that.
daughter who's young, like they make
Yes.
everybody do it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So they are going the extra mile. That being said, they're keeping everyone really safe during the rides as well. Like if it's a cart that would fit multiple people, they'll just leave your family there. It's like, to give an example, man. Best example I can give you. We went to the Simpsons ride, right? And I told my daughter, it's like, well, I was like 120 minutes, 125-minute wait based on the sign. And I told my daughter, it's like, listen, it's a lot of wait. You get antsy. Let's go do something else. No, I want to do this one. Okay, let's do it. 2-hour wait. Let's go. See,
Nice.
we ended up waiting about an hour.
Okay.
So it was not even close to like a 2-hour wait. I think they're really like overestimating the wait time.
Yeah.
They're just giving you a rough, and in my rough estimate, I mean like really rough estimate on how long are you going to take. Green Gots was another example. It was an 80-minute wait. We ended up waiting about 50 minutes probably.
Wow.
So they're really overestimating that. We ended up doing everything. I have a funny story though. Everything except the Mummy and the Rip Ride Rocket because my daughter was too young to do those. And I did miss the newborn like stunt show they have.
Okay.
I'm not really into shows. That used to be a thing that I was into when I used to come in as a tourist, right? But that's like I don't want to spend time like at a theater and watch. It probably cool, right? I think the last show that I really enjoyed was the stunt spectacular at the Hollywood Studios where they had the cars, right?
That was awesome.
So that was a great show, and I really enjoyed it. So, but other than that, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to go to a show at a theme park. Green Gots was really good. That ride was legit.
It's my favorite ride at the whole park, dude.
Yeah, it was really really good. The queue was phenomenal. Like when you go in into like the lobby and going in down to the vault, it was great, man. Really immersive. Like I was impressed. I was like, man, I'm impressed. Like this guy's like really went the extra mile and crafted this thing really well. I was thoroughly impressed with it. The ride was really good. So yeah, it gets an A from me. I texted you because we went to the Transformers ride was the first ride when we got there because the wait was like 15 minutes and we ended up waiting about 15 minutes. I liked it a lot because I'm a huge Transformers nerd, as you can see. Because I went out of the queue and I was like, I gotta have that hat. I like it. I really like it. So I liked, again, it was very similar to the Green Gots ride. It's a little rougher than the Spider-Man ride. It's like in between Green Gots and Spider-Man. Transformers fits right in the middle between those two. I really enjoyed it. Nothing bad to say about it. Again, I texted you. I told you it's like this is better than half of the Bay movies. Actually,
The 3D is really good though.
It is.
When
it's really good.
not no spoilers, people, but Prime gets up in your face a few times, and you're like,
yeah.
Oh, this is
and
epic.
Megatron starts glowing at you, and it looks really good. And the sound system's really good. Yeah, legit, man. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's basically. Oh, and then. And then we went to the Fast and the Furious ride. We ended up waiting like 45 minutes to 50 minutes for that thing, bro. That That was a huge wet fart, bro.
Yeah, that
I
yeah.
told it's funny because my parents were with us, and I told my mom, it's like I have a feeling that this is gonna be the the flabbiest ride ever. It's better than Earthquake, like
Right, because it's more
yeah,
modern.
yeah,
Like
because
the tech.
Earthquake was the one that was in that same studio
Yeah.
before, and that's the one it's replacing. But it was such a oh, and I'm just like,
Ride or die at the end.
bro, no, the
Figure it
ride or
out.
not, nah. When freaking
Cracks me
Vin
up.
Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez came out of the elevator with that stupid truck, and they go, was like, they're like clearly freaking reading a cue card, and it's like, yes, you will ride with us, cause to us you're like family, right? Ride it, yeah, yeah. It's like,
Come on, man. It was an
bro.
Oscar award-winning performance. Are you kidding me?
Bro,
I know, I
and
know.
Michelle, like they were all super stiff. Like the Rock's the Rock, right?
Oh
He
yeah.
plays himself. It's like the Rock as
The
himself
Rock
in
is
every
The Rock.
movie. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So anytime the Rock shows up, it's fine. But but bro, and then no, a spoiler alert for this ride. This is the foofiest ride ever. It's so dumb, and and you go through like this projection tunnel, which is pretty cool, right? The
Yes.
have this whole like tunnel, and it's a projection, and they have wind coming at you, and you feel like you're going fast.
You haven't done Kong yet, right?
I have not, no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kong takes a similar tech, but way better.
Okay, so so this is like this thing, and then Vin Diesel just grabs onto a helicopter, and like, is it? Did he punch the helicopter? I don't know. There was so much crap happening at the same time, and it's like I was like, dude, I was so confused. It was like sensory overload. I was like, did he just punch the that helicopter? I don't know what's going on, bro. And then it was so stupid. It was the queue was the best part because I was nerding out, right? It's
Oh
like that
yeah,
was
you were
that
curious.
there was that blue Focus and not Focus, the Ford Escort and the STI from Fast Forward. It's like yeah, and so I was geeking out. I was like, oh yeah, super engine or this thing. Oh, this is really cooler. And like I was like, freaking, geeking out with like car
Yeah.
parts and all that stuff. And that was all cool, right? But then the ride was like, what the heck, bro? Um, we went into Men in Black. I was like, all right, let's do Men in Black last, and we'll go. We missed Shrek because it was like a 2 hour wait based on the
Yeah.
thing. We'll do Men in Black first, bro. The ride broke, like legit
Oh.
broke in the middle of it. Like they have to take us
Oh.
out, and they gave us
No.
an express pass, and we went to Shrek. I was like, that's the only thing we're missing. Let's go. So
Wow.
we went to the Shrek thing. I've seen it a billion times. Is on like the Blu-rays and stuff. But my daughter it was her first time at Universal as well. So yeah, we ended up doing that, and then we went out. But yeah, really fun day. Weather was very nice. It was warm, but it wasn't humid, so it was perfect. Yeah, like I said, the crowds like they closed out at like noon, bro, and the crowds were
Wow.
really good. You can walk around. I really didn't get a lot of pictures because we were like rushing it. Um,
Did you Jimmy Fallon at all?
oh, you know what? We did not do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we
fun.
missed that one. Yeah. And the food ordering and whatnot was a little bit confusing. So Disney's doing that
Yeah.
better. But at the same time, it is what it is for now, right? I know that eventually we'll get to the point where things can go back to normal. Yeah. Other than that, didn't watch anything of note other than Justice League. We'll talk about it in a minute. Played a little bit more Spidey. Finished Zelda last weekend. Age of Calamity. Very good. Very good. Very good. Uh, if you liked Breath of the Wild, I highly recommend you play that game. I did get one thing, Joel. I've been looking around for this book for a while, and I finally saw it on sale on Amazon, and it's the game console.
Ah, nice, nice.
Yeah, by Evan Amos, and this is basically a photography book. So it covers everything from the Odyssey to the Switch.
Oh, cool.
And if you go in, right, and say, for example, you look at the NES, and it will have like a picture of the NES, and it will
Oh,
have
that's awesome.
breakdowns of the hardware, which I'm a huge geek for. And it has everything. Like it has all the Sega consoles, all the Nintendo consoles. Like I said, up until the Switch. Oh, precious baby right there, Sega Master System. So I really, really loving this book, man. I've only read a few pages because I've been busy. But man, found it on Amazon hardcover for $17 on sale.
That's
So
awesome,
it's a
dude.
really good deal, and I really like it. It looks really good. And Joel, I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy the yellow and black there. I don't know, man. I
It's good choices.
maybe we're due for a refresh here, sir.
Yellow black is a good choice, man.
So we'll see.
Little Batman esque.
Yeah, yeah. You know what?
Black
Yeah.
and yellow.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Neither of us are from
No,
Pittsburgh, but
another
sure.
one exactly. It's
we,
like,
we don't discriminate, sure.
yeah, sure.
Why not?
It's like, yeah, I mean, as long as it's not Dolphins colors, I'm good.
Oh,
Oh
he's been
man, we
burned.
lost listeners.
That's
If
it.
we had some,
There goes Miami.
there's South Florida.
Sorry, guys.
R.I.P. South Florida. Uh, Jill, let's talk about the first three parts of Justice League,
Yes.
because that's what we watched. Um, very good. I am liking it very, bro. Honestly, that's it was 2 hours. It was an hour and 51 minutes because I counted exactly where I left it, and it felt like an hour. It felt like an hour. Like I would have watched the whole thing, bro. I would have watched the whole thing because I was really engaged, and that's a dude. Okay, I teared up twice. I teared up twice, man. Um, and it's funny because one of the scenes is it's in the trailers. Um, that scene with Wonder Woman and when the museum bank wherever they are, a billion times better, bro. Dude,
Yeah.
dude, dude. So did Gal Gadot do any reshoots or no for
Yes.
this
She
version?
did.
She
She came
did.
back.
She came back. Okay. Okay. That scene way better than what we got on the Whedon cut. Tear up number one. Um, when everything's done, right? What she's done, and the girl goes like, "Can I be like you?" And I was like, and it's just you can be whatever you want. I was like,
Such a wholesome moment.
bro, why would Whedon cut that?
Probably wasn't there.
Yeah, that's
That's the
what
only thing I
yeah.
think of.
That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm
And as if
asking.
it is there and he cut that,
It's unforgivable.
yeah, oh yeah, so that's
It's
an offense,
unforgivable. It's
man.
yeah. It's a cinema
That's a
sin.
strike.
It's a cinema sin right there,
That's a strike.
dude. You cannot. You can. That is definitely a cinema sin. I really I was like, yeah, got me good, cool, okay. We actually got a Snyder intro in this movie, which we didn't get on the other one, which like basically it's like a slow mo intro with like the cast and the title and all this stuff happening. All that's good. I think the interactions between Bruce Wayne and Arthur were much better. They didn't they like because their interactions in the other movie were like kind of like playful
Yeah.
and like they didn't like it didn't fit, right? There was something
Yeah.
wrong. Um,
The music too was a little weird, remember?
yeah.
The music changed
Oh,
completely
the
changed the
music is
scene.
so good in this one.
Completely changed it.
So much
Yep.
better. Yeah. Yeah, I think their interactions were much better. There's some scenes, right? Like my wife was watching it with me because she enjoyed the other Justice League, and she's like, it's like when it got to like the Themyscira part. My
Oh,
wife was like, it's kind of like the same. I noticed that it's a little bit different, but it's like they're still talking about the mother boxes and whatnot. It's like, but Steppenwolf's dialogue is completely different. It's like it's completely different. It's like he's not like mother man. Like it's something completely different. It's so much better. But that scene, like the retouches that they did for the fighting and all that, and my daughter's impression was like, "This looks like an old movie because it's like gray." It's just like, thanks,
In the
kid.
box, probably.
Yeah, that probably threw her off. It didn't really bother me. My wife didn't say
No.
anything about it, so she probably didn't even notice. But she said it's like I know, like because colors are really subdued. This movie's almost black and white. Honestly, honestly,
I look
um,
forward to the black and white
it
version.
looks good. It looks good, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, the other scene that made me tear up was the Barry Allen scene when he saved
Iris.
when he saved Iris. So let me hydrate here real quick, because
Okay. Water. Brought to you by water.
brought to you by H2O. Um, bro, like the when it hit, when the scene hit, right, when the slow mo part hit, and the music kicks in, it's like it's sublime. It's like, man, and it's like there's like I've seen the scene, right, but it's like the part when he just like stands in front of her and she's just flying off the car, and the slow mo, and he like
Grabs
touches
the
her
hot dog. He grabs
hair.
the hot dog.
And you do when he grabbed the hot dog, it's like, oh, he's gonna do something with the dogs in the pet shop with this thing. I was like, I kind of like put it together, right? It's super silly because he's like smiles and he puts it in his pocket. It's stupid. I was like, I know that he's gonna do something with it. But when he looks at her, and he like basically moves her arms so to move her out of the way, bro, it was so pretty. Like everything was in that scene was so perfect.
Perfect.
It was, and I was like, and I was moved. I was like, because it was like not the scene, right? Not what was going on. It was the visual experience actually made me had an emotional reaction to it. Which is, I want to say the contrary to Doctor Strange, which is all a visual treat, right? But like the visuals don't, they really don't do anything for me. But in this, I think the visuals in this scenes, like specifically, right? There was no dialogue. It was all visual, and it hit me, bro. It's like it made me tear up. It's like it. This is one of the best scenes in like movie history. Honestly, like I. It sounds stupid, right? It was like because he grabs a hot dog in the middle of the sequence. It's ridiculous, but it just was so well implemented, and yeah, man, I'm 100%. I'm in, bro. I'm in. Like so far, this two like half of the movie is better than the entirety of that other one,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm good, and I'm good with it. So what's up, man?
First of all, I loved hearing that breakdown because I'm glad you got emotional because I got emotional, dude. The amount of added drama, but like really like tangible drama. I don't know how else to really express it, but like
Yeah,
there's these scenes most of them there's scenes of course that are completely new, which is awesome, but most of the scenes that already existed, it felt like it was my first time seeing these scenes to some degree.
yep,
Like it's funny, I caught myself like actually reacting as if it was my first time even putting the story together, even though I've seen this movie multiple times with the Whedon one,
I
maybe
know.
like 3 or 4 times. And seeing the Snyder cut for the first time, I feel like I was experiencing the whole movie for the first time, completely new. I take back everything I've ever said, like initially when I was like, I don't think it will really change the movie that drastic. I will be the first to admit do not have too much pride to say I was dead wrong when I said that beforehand because the Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition, completely different movie,
Yeah,
really awesome. But this one right here, like, wow, this is I'm gonna reserve it because I still haven't finished it. You and I are at this exact same spot. I'm at part 4, waiting to start part 4. So we're both stopped at the same area there. But assuming
bro.
this continues this trajectory, this will be my favorite DC movie if this continues on this trajectory.
The
I'm early reaction on it.
the cyborg stuff.
Wow. That's another thing I gotta apologize. Like Ray Fisher deserves an apology because they did this dude dirty. They cut so much out on this guy.
And all those scenes were so good. Like,
Oh my goodness! But you need that backstory, and
yeah,
the same thing with every single thing. One of these scenes here really added to it. But the Flash and Cyborg, those two like having their extended back, just those little extra moments. It's not like they took so much time, but by having these moments, it just added so much more to these characters. Like I've been on the record saying that I did not care for the portrayal of Flash that much, and it had to do with, I think, he was just portrayed as just a quirky guy. In the very small amounts that we have here, he's not just a quirky guy. He's a guy he just has a very different personality, but he genuinely means well.
and
And the other,
he's trying to find his way, right?
he's trying to
That
find his
the
way.
conversation with his dad is like, he's trying to find who he is, and I think he's acting. He's reacting is
Right.
what his character's doing is reacting to everything that's around him.
Of course he would be
It,
odd with all the things that he's been through in his life.
yeah,
He's not he's trying to find pieces, and I
yeah,
get that you would have that before, but with the Whedon cut, and that's all we have to compare it to is like, to me, all I took away from his character, he was the guy who just stood there was like, I need friends, and it just came off very weird.
yeah,
Where in this it came off more like, even the music in that whole scene is completely different.
yeah.
You don't have these guitar, going off or
In the
whatever.
background, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have this epic, like, okay, I'm a part of something that's very important here. Let's come together. Talk about come together. So you all the scenes you mentioned, completely agree, amazing. But there's one particular scene that, again, the extension of it and the emotion of it, and that is seeing Darkseid and his minions and the new gods fighting against the old gods. That is because I'm like, if these people were fighting to stop Darkseid from getting these mother boxes, it would have been the most epic war that the world has seen in
That
history.
scene was almost 100% different.
Dude,
Like I think there's a couple of shots that they
oh yeah,
used, but other than that, it was completely different because Darkseid's not in the other movie at all,
right,
at
right,
all.
right.
I don't even think like
And
the monks that were controlling the mother boxes were in the movie
I think
even.
they were.
You think
But they're
so?
very little. They're just. I remember there was like a shot of them, doing their thing.
Maybe. Jeez.
But yeah, seeing Ares, being
Yeah.
the one who cut. Like I
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
consistency. The first people to charge were the Amazonians. Like all these little details were like
Yeah.
so perfect, dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait to finish it, dude. I cannot wait. And I'm like, okay, so tomorrow I got Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and then I got this thing. Probably gonna watch Falcon and Winter Soldier at lunch, and probably watch End of this thing at night tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Because it's just I got to see both of them. But man,
Yeah.
I'm filled with such good content. I hope that Falcon and Winter Soldier lives up because this weekend so far it started off very well with this Snyder cut.
Joe, please tell me that there is going to be a physical release of this movie, please. With a
I
black
would
and
think
white with
it
like
only
the both
makes
versions.
sense.
Yeah.
It only makes sense, right? Like I think we'll have to wait a few months to a year because they are using this to boost HBO Max, understandably. As a business, I can't judge them on
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, I would judge them as a business if they never put it on there because that would be the most ridiculous. Like it's kind of like the Daredevil, like the Daredevil Netflix stuff. Like, dude, you know how much I would want to buy that on Blu-ray, the Daredevil collection, dude.
And they're not.
Loved that
Mando.
series.
I would
Can't
buy
sell it.
Mando on Blu-ray.
Mando.
Yeah.
Like you got to sell this stuff. People like you'll make money. You're missing out. But
Yeah.
I mean I know I say that and like how many people actually buy physical copies? Yes, I know the stats are against me. Most people don't have them, but still, I still think you'd have enough to move them around.
I think
I'd be right there.
they would sell at least a couple million for sure.
Yeah,
They.
I think so.
Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, at least. Very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. Nothing negative to say about it. Like it's sweaty. Like I told, I'd send you a gif. I was like, this movie is like, yeah,
Ultra sweat.
it's like ultra sweat. Like this is a
He's got the Omega symbol carved into his chest, dude.
yeah, yeah.
This is
It's
Can't wait for Granny Goodness to show up and all this, bro. I'm there for it.
yeah, and you can tell that then right, because we're basically based on where we are on the movie right now, right on the scenes that we are right now, we're only you know a few moments away from Superman's return, basically.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so it's kind of like what I thought that Superman was gonna be back in like the middle of the movie, uh, and then there's gonna be like a prolonged battle sequence after that with everyone.
We
Uh,
still got Deathstroke scenes. We still got, Joker.
Joker. Yeah, we haven't done any of the nightmare stuff yet.
Nope.
It's so good, dude. I am very impressed. I was like, yeah. I mean, I was never an naysayer. I was.
That is
I
true.
always.
You've been consistent.
I always knew that if this version of the movie were to come, it would be a much superior version,
You did say that.
and we,
That is true.
and we're looking at it. I see you, Disney. I see you. You do this with Rise of Skywalker. You go and do that, because I know that there's like three different
But
cuts of that movie.
but do the fans want that as badly as these guys wanted the Snyder cut?
They
I feel like Star Wars fans just want something completely different right now.
probably don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Star Wars fans are ready to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Mando stuff and all that. So, well, Joe, you know who's moved on? It's Chris Evans as Captain America. So they asked Kevin Feige directly if if Chris Evans is going to be back as Captain America, and basically the answer was no. So there was an interview with Entertainment Weekly, and yeah, basically Chris Evans is out of the picture. Um, Nothing's impossible. He may be back in some form, but he's probably not going to. But what I think he means here is that he's not going to carry a movie or carry a franchise or do anything like that. Like if he's back, he's gonna be in a much more uh, supportive role and not as a main character. But yeah, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised based on this because like there's usually whenever something comes from questionable sources, I'm very quick on the show to say like I don't know how true this is, but I really believed this one because of the outlets that were putting it out there about him coming back.
Yeah.
So to hear this come from Feige, I mean, when it comes from Feige, I don't think he's going to be lying to people. It just doesn't make sense. Conspiracy theory time, try and fill in the gaps. Speculation. I'll say that probably when that article came out, Disney was probably talking to Chris Evans and offering him something. Whatever happened, whether that's, financial, whether that's he just said, nah, I don't think I want to come back to this, whether there's a conflict of schedule, whatever it is, you could make your own theory on it. I get a feeling it was something that they wanted to do and it just didn't work out. So I think that's why Feige is putting this to rest by making it clear no. Because he has been coy on things before whenever things are like possibly like we'll see or you never know. But when he's solid on stuff, he does tend to say like, no, it's not happening at all. So yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, sad, but at the same time, when you think about where they're going right now, the MCU, like it's understandable. And I don't think no today means no tomorrow, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like we talked about the Kathleen Kennedy thing, it's like just because they say that she's going to be here for years to come doesn't mean she will be here for years to come. You just don't know. I don't think there's plans to get rid of her, but the point being is things can change. Is the point.
Just
So,
reminded
yeah.
me of something.
Oh.
No, I just want to check on our guy to see if he's doing okay. See if he has any new stories
Oh,
about when
or,
Kathleen Kennedy's gonna leave.
Overlord.
No, I know Overlord put out another video recently, but
Dude,
I haven't watched him in a while.
Don't even. It's getting crazier
Oh
and
yeah,
crazier with him.
there's a video from a day ago from Mike Zero Rise of Skywalker 4 hour cut is coming, or it's yeah, it's not coming, dude. It's not.
I, 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 I got wrecked by saying that there was gonna be no Snyder cut coming out or whatever. Here we are years later. I'm rocking the shirt and the hat, having a great time. It could happen. I won't believe it because he says it. You know what I mean? Like I need it to come from another source to
Yeah,
back him up.
John Favreau
So
just fired
no
Star
hate,
Wars
man,
director.
but sorry guys. I
Yeah.
I can't disbelieve that.
Say yeah, same as before. Basically
Yeah.
like clickbaity articles about Kathleen
Yeah.
Kennedy. But yeah, man, it's.
Ugh.
Whew. Sorry to veer off on a Star Wars tangent every
We love
episode.
Star Wars. Come on. It has to come up.
Every episode is a mandatory Star Wars either update or a jab. But yeah, Chris. I know we'll see Chris Evans again eventually in something. So, ask Cap.
I even think Robert Downey will be back, dude. When I say back,
Oh yeah,
I don't think like Iron Man, maybe like, some type of work where this voice work or something. That wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. Um, let's circle back to the Snyder Cut. I just thought that was a good transition. But it is holding up really well on Rotten Tomatoes. 77% on the tomato meter and 97% audience score. I want to see what the other Justice League was. Uh, Justice League. No, is it even here? Oh yeah, it is here. This is like the third one down. It was 40 and 71. So it's doing way better than that. So yeah. So good to see that critics are um, reacting very positively to the movie. Joel, do you want to talk about the Geeks and Gamers stuff?
Yeah, we'll touch on it lightly here.
Because I'm not like I was catching up, right? I saw something this morning about it, um, but I really didn't dive in. Like I said, I was at Universal all day yesterday. I really
Yeah,
didn't watch any YouTube at all yesterday, so I was away from the YouTube drama for a day, which was refreshing. Uh, and
agreed.
and then this morning I saw something. I ignored it as I was playing some Spider Man, and then started watching some other stuff, and then started watching the movie. So, but correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, there was a charity stream between several YouTubers, and they invited Zack Snyder to be a part of it. The proceeds were going to like the suicide prevention hotline or something like that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Um, and um, and Zack Snyder shows up in the stream, and before he talks, he gives, which sounded to me like a very corporate uh, thing to say. Kevin Smith said something similar in one of his recent videos, uh, and it was that they had Geeks and Gamers posted as part of like the charity stream, right? And um and and Zack Snyder said something to the nature of like I just want to put out there before I begin that we're not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers, and we condemn like hatred and all this stuff, right? Um, that's the extent of it. That's what I got, right? Because when you texted it, when you told me that you wanted to talk about the topic today, um, then I was playing catch up at that time. Like I saw that something had happened, but go ahead and give us any details that we may be missing, and because I have opinions about Geeks and Gamers, to various different extents. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, this whole thing I feel like has gone really
I think it's
pumped up
I think it's blown out.
really a lot.
I think it's blown out of proportion if you ask me. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I like, and I don't, without getting into it already, like we saw what happened with Star Wars Theory and Pablo Hidalgo. Like this dude, like we've submitted before, someone like him, like to me comes across as the kind of person who like does not want anything to do with drama. This thing here is the kind of people that there's YouTubers all around cashing in on. So I don't want to come across like, oh, we here are 15 cents on this whole situation because it feels like everybody's chiming in on it. I think to provide clarity though is it's that when Snyder started, allegedly, because there was a whole Geeks and Gamers after reactionary live stream to Snyder's, 3 sentences, four
Okay,
sentences of
so
whatever he
there
said.
was, yeah, I wasn't aware
There
of that.
was.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a whole reaction thing that they did. All the top people of Geeks and Gamers jumped on a thing just to talk about this, and they started saying, "Oh, we've been slandered and defamed and all this different stuff." Started they literally made money on that stream. It's very like strange thing going on there. But yeah, I mean, apparently, uh, one of the personalities of Geeks and Gamers that was on that stream, I think the ones that was hosting it, said that Zack, before they went live, actually got a call from Warner's right before, so it seems as if that they did kind of give him a direction of like, hey, we want to give you the heads up. This is what's going on here. Interestingly, though, he instantly like it seemed like he definitely got a nudge, but he also took it a little bit further because he not only does he say that we're not social geeks and gamers, and he says that there's a time of unity, and he says that we condemn acts of hatred, and he also mentions his that with what's he goes with what's been going on in the news recently. He says I have children that I've adopted that are of Asian heritage. Like he literally starts saying this out of there on there, and says that like obviously like he's not happy with some of the events going on, so don't wants us to be a moment of unity. And he goes, I just want to get that out of the way before we get started, and that's it. I kind of took everybody by the blue, by left field, and just kind of started that way. I don't necessarily think he did anything wrong by saying one, I disassociate with these people, and two, saying that he condemns something like that. Is it awkward, and is it something that like it makes you think instantly now geeks and gamers is like a part of a hate group or something, it does give you like wait, what happened with geeks? Like, that was my first reaction. I was like, wait, did they say something about like the recent
No,
events and thing? I started looking back. It wasn't anything to do with that. It was
no.
just with their past history of their style of coverage, that has
Yeah,
seemingly aligned with certain, it could seem as if it aligns with certain ways of thinking, but that's also kind of reaching because it isn't exactly, they're not
yeah,
going in your face and saying that we're associating with this, if that makes sense.
correct. I think is that they're me personally because I've watched them for a while. I'm not subscribed, but every once in a while, whenever there's a video that has a topic that I'm interested in, I would watch it. Um, and wherever they stand politically, I really don't care. I'm a very open-minded person. I have my political beliefs, and I believe that you are entitled to have your political and religious beliefs, and I will fight for your right to have your opinions, right? um I've there's been a few times where it's like, yeah, this is like a bit much, and it's sometimes it comes across a little bit disingenuous and not like completely honest. It's more like a character, if you ask me, at times, right? And I think that that combined with like I think the amount of like we are I think you and I both are staunch critics of Kathleen Kennedy till the end, right? Uh, but there's a difference between being staunch critics like you and I, and sometimes crossing that line, right? And I
I
think
agree.
that's part of it. You know,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not, Kathleen Kennedy is a very powerful person in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, uh,
Yeah.
and crossing that line, I think that's kind of like because they've done it quite a few times, that I've seen. So, and they may ask, "Oh, what's crossing that line?" It's like, well, I mean, there's not necessarily insults and whatnot hurled, but there's, you know, comments and whatnot.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
again, I'm an open-minded person. I have thick skin, but at the same time, I, you know, would like to be respected, and I would like to address people with respect. You know, except there's exceptions. But sure, there's always you
You
know
just come out left field though.
something I learned when I worked when I started when I worked at Disney back in my original tenure at Disney. Something I learned from one of my trainers is like uh, everything that's etched in stone has its two or three exceptions. So yeah, it's like there's the two or three exceptions on that. Yeah, so um, I think that geeks and gamers have been they've really criticized the whole Black Superman thing that came out a few weeks ago, um, and I think that may have not sit well with Warner, which we talk about in the show, and to some extent I disagree because I believe that you should give fans what they want, but that's just me, right?
It's
Um,
fair.
it's nothing against the thing, right? It's like business choices, and
Yeah.
yeah,
You actually have a fair assessment of it.
correct, yeah, yeah. The and that's mostly the thing that I've seen uh out of Geeks and Gamers that could be troubling. I know that they, also crossed the line with covering some of the Amber Heard stuff that happened and Johnny Depp. You know, agree to disagree in some things.
Sure.
And that, I don't want to talk about that case. I think I have a strong opinion on that case, and I do believe that there should be consequences for her. We'll just leave it there. And you know, I just don't think I don't. It's not like they're like actively promoting hatred against people. I think it's just that the way they cover the
Yeah, it's the
news
tone.
exactly. They're a little bit like Fox Newsy when
Yeah.
they give the news.
Like daytime Fox News.
Correct. Yeah, and that's
not, not like prime time.
well,
It's
prime time's even worse. I think.
a totally different. Yeah, the whole production changes on that channel
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing, right? The way they report and the way they address some of the topics, uh, they do cross the line every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Do they cover relevant stuff? Yes. Is there stuff well produced? Sure. You know, but it's it's one of those things, right? I just think that it's like a CYA scenario for them, right? Um, like I'm one, and I'll admit it, right? I used to watch the quartering a lot, um, and I didn't watch the quartering because of political stances, right? I watched it because uh, I think that again I'm a very open minded on the individual, and I would like to hear different opinions and things, but at the same time, I consider myself I'm definitely liberal leaning when it comes to my political views, but I'm not into the whole cancel culture stuff. I think it's stupid, and trying to cancel John Wayne and things he said on a Playboy interview in 1972 when the guy was already like 108 years old and he was born like last century or whatever, and you know it's like that, right? There's at some point we as humans need to stop being pansies and need to uh, whatever happened to like sticks and stones, right? It's like
I'm not gonna say everything about what's happened. I think there's been some good revelations, but there's also has to be a self reflection too. But
correct.
but but I'll
Yeah,
just say this about the geeks and gamers guys. Is it's like they have like to your point, they have a right to say what they're saying. I think what they're saying, they're not trying to do something harmful. But I would say that the tone that they've taken on some things is probably not the way I'd go about it. You and I try and be a little more level headed.
yeah,
Like if you go to No Load Time, if you go to one of our episodes, right? I'm not trying to compare us against them because they have a right to do what they're doing,
And they're a
and
huge, they're a
they're very
huge.
successful.
Yeah, they're
Like, you
very
know, good
successful.
for
We
them.
like
So
we. I can only wish that we would be as successful
yeah,
as they are. Yeah.
yeah, like I totally respect it. But like if you look up no load time, the things you'll come up a lot of times it's a lot of us talking about how hyped we are about this or things that we're really enjoying and getting sweaty about like what new stuff is going on or
Yeah.
whatever and taking a deeper dive and look at it. Where like if you go to the front of the website, like the first thing is like Gina Carano fired by this. Why Kathleen? It's like you're known. I've talked
Yeah.
to you about this before, Obed, and I've mentioned it on the show. Like, do you ever want to be known in life for what you hate or what you love? Like, is it, when somebody thinks of Joel in the low time, they think, oh, this is the guy who's always talking negatively about this thing. I don't
Yeah.
want to be known as that.
No, absolutely
I
not.
don't. I
Nope.
want to be known as like, oh yeah, Joel. Oh, he's probably talking about the latest this thing and how much he and this, and I want to hear their take on that. Doesn't mean everything's always sunshine and roses, but the point
Yeah.
being is it's like it's about our passions and our joy. And that's what unites us together. That's why
Exactly.
there's a safe place for fans to come together and just have a good time from different backgrounds and different perspectives. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I totally respect Zack for what he said. He probably was just a little misinformed, and I think people
Yeah.
maybe need to take a little bit of a seat back and say, like, if you don't, instead of just talking online rashly, like, oh, he's not woke and all this all these things, people start saying all these names and all this. Like, personally, I think that's you're just using at that point just to get more popularity to your channel versus like do you really know where he came from? And even on that stream with him, they then like some of the other people on there started then making fun of other YouTubers. It just like with him on there, and it didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the way it should have gone down, but I think there's probably some misunderstanding there. So basic gist of it, everybody's listening, because some of you might be like, wait, what really happened in the situation? Zack makes this disclaimer. It rubbed Geeks and Gamers wrong because they're doing a charity event. They literally raised $50,000 for this
Yeah.
guy's charity at
Oh.
that moment, and then he's saying, I disassociate with them." So the people got very emotionally triggered,
Yeah.
understandably. And I see where Geeks and Gamers come from, but at the same time, Geeks and Gamers, like, guys, you're just not. You can't pretend like you're playing nice with everybody, and when somebody makes a
Yeah.
statement like this, you can't be surprised. I just think there needs to be a little bit calm down and peace and cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. And like what you said, we've what we cover here is things we love, right? We couldn't cover disagreements because we cover Kathleen Kennedy because we love Star Wars, right? That's the thing, and that's we cannot cover the one thing without the other. Um, and I think we've for the most part done a decent job at that, and keeping it positive. Yeah, we can we can have our criticism here and there. But at the end of the day, we are talking about things we love. And it's different to talk about something that you love. You can love Star Wars, right? And it always brings me back to the documentary about the prequels with George Lucas.
Oh, the people versus George
People, yeah,
Lucas.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good one.
Always bring me back to that. It's like, I mean, you can love Star Wars, right? Because I'm an old school Star Wars fan, but
Yeah.
this whole like George Lucas ruined my childhood when the prequels come out. And I was like, no, that's stupid. It's like that. Like I didn't even say that back in '99 when Phantom Menace came out. I was like, I want to see Phantom Menace, dude. I still might somewhere in the back there is the VHS collector's edition for that movie.
Awesome.
It's, come on. My childhood was not ruined. Come on. There's much worse things that can happen to you that can ruin your
Yeah.
childhood other than Jar Jar Binks. Come on. It's like it doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense. But yeah, I mean, tone it
Strong
down.
statement.
Tone it down, guys. It's like tone it down a little bit. You'll go places. Again, they are a very successful YouTube channel, and we can only hope to be as big as they are with how long we've been doing this.
Much respect to those guys. Much
Absolutely.
respect.
I mean, they hustled, and the thing is that you gotta sometimes you just say things in in a way that it could come come out a little bit rough on the other end.
But
So
that's the thing, dude. Controversy gets ratings, and they know it.
yeah,
So
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
they know
controversy
it.
gets
All
clicks.
the news stations know
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's the same thing.
Like we're like super like dude, it's like we're not even we're so not clickbaity that I use the same picture for all videos on YouTube. It's like
Right. Well, I could easily Photoshop some crazy
we're
things.
never face palming. We never have like big crazy letters. It's like if you watch it, you watch it. You watch it for the content. You don't watch it for the drama.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's my way of thinking. Is like we may not be successful, but you know, but
We're
we
having a
keep,
good time.
but we're having a good time when
Yeah.
we have our conscience clean. So we're good. We're good.
Someone goes back and looks at these videos 10 years from now, still gonna realize the kind of people we are, right? That's what we hope for.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Joel, we're going a little bit over, but it's okay. We got a few very important video game news.
Yes. Yes.
The first one that I really want to talk about is that PlayStation bought EVO. Dude, dude, where did this come from? It is. They're are they? I mean, to my knowledge, right? They're the first major uh, console manufacturer that actually owns a piece of esports right now, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah, and this is amazing, and especially like the kind of esports that I like it's fighting
Right.
games. So this is like to me, this is like a match made in Street Fighter heaven, and I am 100% on board, and I I really do look forward to what they have to bring. They did say that they will have events coming out this year. I believe that I read somewhere that there was already yeah, there we go, to be held digitally August 6th through the 8th. And then August 13th through the 15th. The events will include Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat, and Guilty Gear Strive. So yeah, man.
So just hearing this, like Evo was already doing just fine. They're a massive
Well,
success.
well, here's the thing, right? I think that Evo was doing fine until the pandemic hit, and
Oh
then
yeah,
and then
that's
they,
true.
I think they were just not in a good place. Well, first of all, like last year we had the issue. Was it last year or the year before with Joey Cuellar, where like there was that thing with that
Yeah.
dude 20 years ago, and the dude was a minor. Some
Yeah.
stuff that happened a long time ago that resurfaced, and then that kind of
Yeah.
affected Evo. But then the pandemic hit, and they had to cancel everything.
Like what happens really wasn't really Evo's fault. It just, unfortunate circumstances, but looking at this announcement, it's like PlayStation just adopted a brand that's already like it's not even it's not at its peak, but it's already in a very good place.
It was in
So
yeah.
so it's gonna be taken now just crazy next level. PlayStation, Sony, they're in this to win. This is a huge acquisition. They clearly knew that they could catch. I think they caught most of the industry by surprise with this news today.
Yeah.
I think this was pretty huge. And I look forward to seeing how they integrate the entire tournaments with the PlayStation brand. Like clearly, there's going to be other things there. Nintendo's already made some comments on it. They're going to
Yeah.
make these people now have to pay PlayStation. Good for them, but I'm sure that also just generally like PlayStation's about the hype, dude. Like I mean, they're going to bring some very good shows going forward. So
I think
I
this is
just can't wait to
yeah.
sit back and be surprised more.
Yeah. And I think the last few Evos, not necessarily. I mean, the one last year though it was canceled, but the year before, like every Evo, we get like reveals and surprises and all this stuff. And I think that this is a place where Sony can really show this sort of stuff happening, right? And based on the partnership that Sony and Marvel have with Spider-Man and some of the other stuff, the close partnership between Sony and Disney, um, they could even make a new Marvel vs. Capcom happen
Oh yeah.
Now that that Infinite basically just died in the middle of nowhere, it was completely abandoned. It's like it died of starvation and just left there to rot. Unfortunately, uh, they should have definitely updated that game. Throw in some graphics shaders, add more characters, and that would have been good because the that game had really good online play. It played very. It was fun to play. So it was unfortunate. Um, I'm looking forward to what they are really going to bring. I think I'm going to pre-order Guilty Gear, man. I'm close. I don't know. I may do it because it looks so good, and I mean I played a little bit of it and it was fantastic. So I may just get back into fighting games. Just even for a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But I am very excited. Very excited. I'm sure that yeah, Nintendo said that it's like they asked them about Smash, and they said it was like, well, that's up to Nintendo. If they want to bring it, we'll have them, right? And I'm assuming that if Microsoft approaches them, it's like, hey, how about bringing back Killer Instinct and putting back an Evo? It was like, sure, why not? I'm sure that they'll be open.
Yeah, they'll play nice.
Yeah. Um, Now with this happening, I wonder how. So because Evo is like the culmination of several different events throughout the year. I mean that's how it used to be back before the pandemic, and I'm sure that one day we'll get back to that point. Um, what would happen? Like what I'm interested in seeing how this will affect uh, like the Capcom Pro Tour and CEO and all these other events, uh, you know, First Attack and all this other stuff that happens throughout the year. DreamHack and I don't know all these other events, fighting game events that happen. So I'm wondering how this is going to either affect or maybe complement those events. So yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Joel, a few announcements from Square Enix today. They had a little presentation in the morning. The Project Athia, that was confirmed to be a PS5 and PC game back when it was announced, got a title. Uh, it's four spoken, and it looks very good. They're saying it's going to be a 2022 release. It looks like an open world like action fantasy game, and it looks pretty good. They announced that there's going to be a Black Panther expansion for the Avengers game. They also announced the Avengers update for PS5 and how that's going to work and all that. So, Joel, this would be probably a good time for you to jump in if you want to jump into that.
Yeah, I mean, there's even rumors I know around potentially down the line them adding a Spider-Man expansion as well for this Avengers game. So they're still trying to find ways to make money off this, and I do want to pick it up. Someone else brought to my attention. I think this week they already have the price on sale or something like that, like the game's on sale or
It's
something like
cheap,
that right
yeah.
now. It already was cheap, and then they put down.
Yeah.
I keep feeling like this is gonna be one of those like throw-in games on Black Friday this year. It's gonna end up being like,
Mm.
what I mean, like one of those like $7, $9, $8 game. You know what I mean? Like game. There's games like that, like God of War or whatever. That's like $8, $9. Like this is
Yeah.
a great game. So I don't know. I feel like this has got to drop down even more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would still like to play it. I don't know about you, man, but I'd still like to play it.
Yeah. I mean, there's other things that I want to play.
Same.
Um, so I mean, I may give it a try eventually. I don't know if it goes free to play. I'll try it.
Yes, same.
Yeah. You
That's
know,
that's free is for sure.
free is good. um, Life is Strange is getting a another game. Life is Strange True Colors coming out this fall. They show a little bit of the Hawkeye uh, missions that they're going to release again for Avengers. Showed another trailer for Outriders, and they talked about the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. And if I'm not wrong, the only thing that they announced is a definitive Survivor trilogy.
Hmm.
That is basically all three games, all three Tomb Raider games in one package. Which I already own all three on PS4, two on PS Plus, and the first one I think was like $4 on one of those crazy sales that they do, one of those flash sales. So they announced a bunch of mobile stuff that I'm not interested in. Balan Wonderworld, they show up. They showed a new co-op uh, trailer, so the game will have local co-op as well. And that is basically what they announced. No Final Fantasy 16 news, which is kind of a bummer. But things are moving along and things are happening. So we'll see what other announcements we'll get around summertime.
Yeah, I agree. More to come.
Yep. Joel, last bit of news that I have here. There is a new PlayStation program coming out on March 25th, and they are calling it the Play at Home 2021 program. And basically, they're giving you a bunch of games for free.
Which is the same thing they did with the Ratchet and Clank. That was also the Play at Home
Yep.
program.
Um, well, you're getting Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition
Heck, heck yeah, dude.
because we were talking about it like last week, right?
I
And you wanted
know.
to play it. Now's your chance.
No
Like
excuse.
like now, I'm assuming that this probably will have you know I'm assuming that there's gonna be a patch coming for this game soon.
I think so too.
Um, because you just don't one does not simply throw Horizon Zero Dawn uh, and uh, and not patch it. I mean, there's you can still play PS Pro 4, PS4, PS4 Pro version of the game. I had like
Which I'm sure is cool.
yeah, it's 1080 60 or 4K 30, so it's up to you.
But that PS5 performance, if they can do it, it's got to be 64K. I'm sure. If they did it for
Oh,
God of War, I mean,
and yeah, and Ghost, yeah,
yeah, they can do it.
yeah, they definitely can. So so we'll see how that goes. But in addition, you will have Absu, Enter the Gungeon, Res Infinite, and that is a really good game.
Yep.
Really, really good game. Subnautica, The Witness, which is
The
another really good
Witness,
game.
fantastic.
Yep. Astrobot Rescue Mission. So you're getting another Astrobot game.
I'll take
Moss,
it.
which is a PlayStation VR game. Astrobot is VR as well.
Yep.
Thumper, another VR game. I think you can play it without VR. And Paper Beast, which was announced for PS4, I believe, last year. Joe, one bit of news that I don't have here that I'll just drop in here. Did you see the new PSVR controllers?
Yes, I saw it today. I think it was
Yep.
when it went out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it came out this morning. They
Yep.
had a press release showing the new PSVR controllers, which look more like the Oculus controllers, and they're definitely a welcome upgrade to
Yeah.
VR.
They look very comfortable.
They do. Yep.
So they wrap around.
And they do look like they both have both two analog sticks and buttons on each hand. You don't need to depend on the ones anymore and all that tracking thing. So I'm hoping to see the headset. What do you think? Late summer maybe they'll show the headset.
Yeah, because that's gonna come out this year. If it's gonna be fall, I think E3 timeline ish, online E3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it this year or was it like 2022?
I thought it was this year, but I could be wrong.
I think they said that they were shooting for it, but they may not make it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think they they probably won't make it because of people not being able to get PS5s. So,
Yeah, right.
although that's getting a lot better now.
Today there
It's
was more people getting
yep,
them, so that's a good sign.
yeah, and multiple retailers, not just Walmart, not just Amazon.
How
So
many months is this? Is what, 5 months?
yeah, it's
Whew.
like 5 months.
Wow.
It's nuts,
Still
dude.
can't walk into a store and grab one. That's crazy.
Dude, I got scared this morning. So I was playing Spider-Man and it started making a weird sound, like I was like,
Ooh.
no. And it
No.
was the disc that started spinning. And I guess it started spinning in a weird way and it started making a weird sound. and I freaked out, bro. Freaked out. And then he stopped. I was like, I paused it, took my headphones off. I was like, what the heck, bro?
What's going on?
And then he just stopped. It's like, okay, so it was the disc spinning. And then I didn't do it again. I was like, okay, so I'm good. I'm good. All right, I think. We'll see.
I hope so.
I wonder how Sony's managing warranty stuff. Like if it's past the year, if you
Yeah,
pay. I mean, we're not past the year yet, right?
no,
But
no. But if they do get to that point,
correct, yeah. So we'll
yeah, I'd be
see.
curious.
That is all we got, sir. We did
Yes,
go
sir.
over a few minutes, but it was fun nonetheless.
For
If you
sure.
want to just go ahead, plug us in, and hit the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have sweet sleep now because it's pretty late at night. We're recording this, but guys, gentlemen, ladies, all good people here at No Load Time. Thank you for checking us out. We ask you to please stay connected, stay subscribed to our podcast on podcast platforms. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're out there. We're also on our on YouTube channel as well, so subscribe there as well. Make sure you're following us on our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitch at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. We hope you follow us there and stay up to date. And in addition to that, we welcome feedback, questions, comments. We'd love to hear from you. Send an email to no load time at gmail.com. That's no load time at gmail.com. We'd love to hear back from you all. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you on our very next episode.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.